I was carrying the tray when my phone vibrated. One message, 3 words, "She's gone, Beta." My mother died while I was reheating gravy. I stopped breathing before I stopped walking. My hands shook, but I didn't drop the tray. I looked at my husband, smiling too wide, glass raised, surrounded by his colleagues. I mouthed the words to him. Ami passed away. He laughed, actually laughed. "Your mother died? So what?" he said, loud enough for the table. "Serve my guests." Something inside me sealed shut. Not cracked, not broke, sealed. I served the food while tears ran down my face, silent and obedient, like everything else in my marriage. The room smelled of roasted meat and success. My grief had no place at that table. That's when his boss took my hand. "Why are you crying?" he asked softly. I told him, just the truth. No drama, no begging, just facts. He let go of my hand and walked toward my husband. The room quieted, not because he raised his voice, but because he didn't need to. "Everyone knew your wife's mother was ill," he said. "What they didn't know was that you're cruel." My husband smiled, confused, still drunk on his own importance. That smile wouldn't last the night. I didn't marry a monster. I married a man who learned how to become one slowly. We met when he was nothing but ambition in cheap shoes. He called me his luck, his anchor. He used to say my calm made him better. I believed him because I wanted to, because love is louder than warning signs when you're young. I supported his promotions, hosted his dinners, memorized names I didn't care about, smiled until my face hurt. I thought partnership meant endurance. By the time I realized I was furniture in my own life, he was already standing on my back. The betrayal didn't arrive loudly. It crept. Late nights that smelled like unfamiliar perfume. A phone turned face down. A laugh he no longer shared with me. I noticed patterns, not proof, and I waited. Control looks like patience from the outside. The proof came in a reflection, not a message, not a confession, a reflection in the glass wall of his office during a company party. His hand on her waist, too familiar, too practiced. I didn't cry then either. I went home and opened a folder I had started months earlier without knowing why. Bank statements, contracts, emails. I read everything like a lawyer, not a wife. That's when my mindset shifted. Grief hardened into clarity. If he thought I was weak, I would let him. Weak people are underestimated. That's useful. I planned quietly. I spoke to a lawyer before I spoke to a friend. I learned what was mine and what he had hidden. I documented every expense tied to his affair, gifts bought with joint money, trips filed as client meetings. I forwarded emails. I took screenshots. I waited for signatures. I reconnected with people he had dismissed, admins, assistants, the ones who knew everything because they were invisible. I listened more than I spoke. I stopped confronting him. I became pleasant, predictable, easy. Men like him get careless when they feel safe. The night my mother died, he thought he had won completely. He thought I would swallow even that. He was wrong. When his boss spoke, I saw it begin, the shift, respect leaving the room like oxygen. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. The following week, the board received an anonymous package, clean, organized, undeniable. Financial misconduct, abuse of company funds, an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. His promotion disappeared first, then his allies, then his confidence. At home, I served him divorce papers with the same hands I once used to pour his drinks. He laughed again, called it a bluff. Then the accounts froze. Then the company car was taken back. Then the other woman stopped answering his calls. The confrontation wasn't loud. He sat across from me at the kitchen table, the same place he once told me I was lucky to have him. His voice was small now, angry, then afraid. "You planned this," he said. I nodded. No denial, no satisfaction, just truth. "You knew my mother was dying," I said, "and you chose humiliation, so I chose precision." He asked me if I felt better. I thought of my mother's hands, how they never shook even at the end. "I feel finished," I said. Now I confess this only to myself. I didn't destroy him. I let him be seen. There's a difference. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers and waits until the timing is perfect. I still cry, but not from shame, from release. My mother is gone. My marriage is over, and the silence in my life is finally mine. I walk lighter now, and he's still laughing sometimes, alone, because that's all he has left.